Look, walking in my purpose on purpose. It ain't nothing this world could offer that could amount to what God showed me my worth is. I'm working. Oh yeah, I'm in my bag, no working, going so hard for God. Shout out to the devil won't murk me, but he ain't got no power. These haters sour cause I made it. My voice ain't do it, it's only by his grace I'm in his favor. Prayer, that's what I use to learn to step tape. The Holy Spirit fill me with courage on top of the faith. That's why. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. Yeah. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. Okay. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. Yeah. On purpose. Yeah. Hey, what?
So today on Stool Talk, we have with us, man, this is big, this is huge. I've been kind of was getting nervous, man, because I'm in his lane today, me just getting started, man. He got a great podcast called The It Factor, man, where he's pouring out, he's allowing people to talk about their journey. He's allowing people to be able to talk about what it takes to get to wherever field they're in. He has multiple seasons, and I'm in season one just getting my foot wet, man. And today on Stool Talk, man, where we walk in our purpose on purpose, we have today the It Factor host, Mr. Jermey Robinson. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to be here. Every day a good day. And just thankful for this opportunity, man.
Yeah, same here, man. I have seen your clips of your podcast and I kept seeing it. And I'm like, man, let me look into this. Then I got the looking, I'm like, man, this is great work. Like you got great questions, great interaction with your people that you have on interviewees and how they're, focused and how some of them still are doing it. And the names you had, I'm like, man, this is good. Let me go ahead and reach out, man. So let me ask you this. How was it for you growing up? Like when you first grew up, when you were younger, like what did you aspire to be? Did you have aspirations on going into a field? Did you just play it by ear? And let's take us through that journey.
Man, thank you for that question, bro. I would say grew up in Fort Valley, Georgia, single parent home, had one of the greatest moms ever, man, and really poured into me to be, as long as you can do good in school, you can do whatever you want. You do good in school, you do whatever you want. And I'm a football kid. I was like, you know what? Because that's like a family business. I got two cousins that played in the NFL. One's currently in the NFL. And just seeing them, or even seeing my cousin that was in the NFL while I was a little boy, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. Okay, I know what to do to get there. All right, cool. And then you played. And I was an okay player, man. I was like, you know what? But once you get to high school, you start figuring out like, yeah, I'm okay. Okay, I can go to college and play. But like, is that really all I can do?
Yeah.
So I got into the STEM program in high school. And in the STEM program, we went to the Tuskegees, Auburn's, the Georgia Tech's, Arkansas, different universities, and went to NASA. And I was like, I can do this. I saw some black people. I was like, shoot, what you do? You a computer science? All right, cool. Let me see how I can do this. And years later, when I ended up at Clark Atlanta University, that ended up being my major. First off, just an instance of taking a trip. And I was like, okay, man, let's go and do this, man. I think I can be good at it. And I still was able to, watch certain football players, stuff like that. But I was like, hey, I can figure that out later with football. But right now, we're going to try this computer science and engineering thing. So definitely.
Yeah. What's your cousin's name that play in the league?
DeMarcus Robinson, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
We played with the Chiefs. Now he played with the Rams. Yeah. So.
Okay, yeah, that's big, man. So how did faith play a part in you even making a decision to go after that IT? Because I know that wasn't just a phys ed. Most people go to school and they say, I'm gonna be a gym teacher or I'm just gonna be a substitute teacher. They try to take the basis of the course. Here you trying to go to IT and you going in that realm. Like, how did faith play a part in that?
It played a big part in it, man. Even coming out of high school, I had the grades. Was like, you know what, graduation came coming around. I didn't pass this state test. I'm like, oh man, how I'm gonna graduate, all this stuff. But God came in strong, man, when I needed him. Like always, God was like, hey, you didn't get to walk with your class, but you going to Clark on the scholarship and you good. Like, and I didn't see it at the time. I ended up going to Clark, man. I ain't even have my high school diploma. And I didn't get my high school diploma until September of that year of starting at Clark Atlanta University. So once I got there, man, that was the thing. I was like, yeah, I know. That was my first time saying for myself, yeah, God real. Like, I'm here because of God. Like this, yeah, I'm having everybody having fun and stuff, but it's in the back of my mind, like, I gotta praise God because, like, at the end of the day, I had faith of a mustard seed. Like, this ain't gonna work. I don't know how this gonna work, but I was like, something gonna give. And to be very honest with you, that same way I thought back then, it has matriculated to now. Like even bigger, of course, more faith now, like knowing things are going to go right. And even though things are going wrong or something down, even what you said when we started the show, even when it comes to podcasting, somebody might reschedule. Oh, dang, I can't believe so and so rescheduled. And it's like, I still got to feel like, oh man, the show's still gonna go on. Well, it's
Yeah.
cool. All right, we can see what we can do. So, and that happens with my marriage. That happens with life in general, work, so many friends, all type of things. So definitely, I would say faith plays a big role in my life, man. Definitely.
Yeah. So
And
where
learn.
did the podcast come? What inspired you to start the IT podcast and focus on highlighting Americans, African Americans, in their profession, in their fields, in their careers, even in the sports and different things they transpire?
So this about to get you. So I mean, in college, man, I'm killing them. I'm like, all right, cool. I get into class and it's hard. And I'm like, you know what? I'm on YouTube looking, but I don't see nobody that look like us. And I'm like, it ain't even. Back then, I was like, dang, I need somebody to talk this coding language because I went to a HBCU, but I was still getting taught by Indians and different people that were not black. And learning a coding language and trying to learn what they're speaking is kind of hard. So I was like, trying to do that. I was like, God, if you get me through these courses, I'm gonna do something to give back. I don't know what it looked like. So you say those things and you get through the class and I graduated from Clark and I got my job and you're making money, but it came back. It was like God was like, hey, you still ain't did what you said you was gonna do, but okay. And it just kept happening, man. And finally I talked to one of my best friends that does my editing to this day. And we were talking and he's just like, hey bro, you know a lot of people. You should start a TV show. I'm like, TV show? Me? TV show? No, bro, I don't know. So I'm like podcast, and then it kept coming up, man. And then I started with co-host for the first 2 episodes for UC, man. And my guy was like, oh, I'm gonna stop. But instead of me saying, dang, I can't do it without him, I'm like, it was my idea from the get-go. Let me go ahead and put the work in. And the first season was IT people, like engineering, you name it. That's all I had. And after a while, I was like, I know athletes, I know doctors, I know lawyers. These people I want to talk to. Now I want to interview Cam Newton one day. That's what I'm telling myself. So at that time, of course, I was like, okay, let me brown out. And then my mom, my family, friends, and my wife was like, hey, you should go and broaden out outside of just IT. You're limiting yourself. When I did that, bro, stuff just took off, man. And I stopped looking at the numbers, like, oh, I ain't get this many likes, so this didn't go this way. And I'm like, people always hit me up like, bro, how did you interview so and so? I'm
Yeah.
like, I did this song, so I wrote a book about it now. So definitely, I would say.
Oh, so you an author as well?
Yeah, look, man, we out here in
Oh
these streets.
yeah, yeah,
Network.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna have to get this
That's
to
what's
you,
up.
man. Definitely, you gonna look. You read this, it's gonna help you a lot, man.
Okay, for sure. For sure. I love to support that, man. Love to support it,
Definitely,
man.
definitely.
And that engineering field, man. Shout out to Payshawn Wimberly. He plays football for the Bowling Green State Falcons. Yeah, man. He's about to be a fifth-year senior, man. He had a big play, big touchdown in the bowl game, and he's doing engineering, man. So I know the hard work he put in. So I know, by you graduating, you like, whoo, you didn't got that off. How has your background as computer science and engineering influenced your approach to your hosting your podcast and even to your life today?
I would say, man, it plays a big role in research. So anytime someone pitch an idea to you, or anytime you're trying to work and try to get with someone, with me taking these hard courses in college, you don't know that it's the same as trying to do things in daily life. Like, oh, I'm trying to do this at the job, or oh, I need to have this type of conversation with my wife. Actually, having a conversation with you or the other people that I interview, man, that helps you in your life. So, like, when it comes to researching, I'm trying to interview certain people. I'm like, I was able to get in touch with this type of person or do this when I was in college. So I can do the same thing for the podcast. Or when it comes to just trying to do deep learning or writing these questions, I'm a great writer. Of course, I'm a 2-time author. So man, those the type of things that I feel like engineering prepared me for. And also just being able to set out those goals. Like, oh, it used to be, I want to pass this class. Now it's like, I want to do this in the job. I want to be able to move and do this. So those type of things actually help. But I would say research is the biggest thing I have really honed in on when it comes to the balance of both.
Yeah, $1 million question. How do you maintain yourself, your work,
Mhm.
being a husband, your family, and have time to pour into yourself and make sure you energetic and you charged up, and God giving you the strength because you pouring out to the audience, you pouring out when you interview, and then you got to make sure a wife taken care of, then you got to be a man. How do you make sure that you good and strong and strengthened?
You got to focus on what you can control. You
Mm.
gotta like the people rescheduling. Oh, this show didn't go this way, or oh, work didn't go this way, or I didn't get this meeting, or oh, dang, I'm struggling on this. You have to sit back and say, okay, I'm only human. I can do this. Like, and I would say scheduling. As I hit the age of 26, I was like, them agendas and scheduling was the most important thing in my life. Because if it's on the schedule, it's gonna happen. If it's not, I'm either working in. But when it come to family and my wife, man, the people like that, the schedule don't come. I'm like, they may have more important than the schedule. I can move something
Yeah.
back. But when it comes to podcasting and work, man, it's easy to balance. I would say the biggest thing is just making sure that I don't overshadow myself working for somebody else and not working on my own thing. So I
Yeah.
always try to strive to put a little bit more work in, put those extra hours in when it comes to the podcast. And then with work, man, it's gonna take care of itself, man. It's engineering, it's a lot of hard work. I'm actually in the process of moving to another job. So in doing that, man, just gotta get on board, man. Once I get on board with that, I kind of balance everything out. But like I said, family come first. So I'm gonna dang show make sure that ain't even gotta be scheduled because like it's gonna be untimely things that's gonna happen or be needed to be done. But like even with this episode, for it to happen, I seen I'm like, okay, we're gonna do it. I got an episode I gotta shoot for the podcast. But I was like, I gotta meet this brother. I gotta be here. So definitely just controlling what you control and also going after the things that matter most to you. Your show matter more to me than me shoot mine. So like right now in this moment, like I need to come do this before I can go shoot mine because how I'm gonna speak changing the narrative and I'm not pouring into you. So that's the biggest thing. Focus on what you control, man.
Yeah, man. Wow. I appreciate that, man. And that's why God is gonna bless you because you faithful and you selfless, being that you even told me that because I didn't even know that, and God see that he can trust you with, what he's pouring inside of you, the seeds that you sow and pouring into people, they're gonna blossom into good fruit. And you ain't doing it for no recognition or nothing. You doing it because that's the God inside you. So
Yeah.
big up to that, man.
Thank you, man.
Can you share some memorable moments from guests on your podcast and how has it significantly impacted you?
Man, so I would say I said this earlier, man. When I was writing out the stuff, man, I was saying, interviewing my best friends from home, man. We come from the South. You think that's where a place where everybody think they gonna make it to the league, and this is how we gonna get out. We gonna take care of our family. And to see that, yeah, we had those aspirations, but to see my friend go out there becoming a coach. Now he's a coach, man. He coaching receivers down in Savannah. Then my other best friend that I grew up with from Sandbox. This man is an occupational therapist now and working his way up in the ranks and just love helping people. And just having an interview in our old high school stadium
Wow.
where we did a lot of work, man, that was amazing, bro, because it was like very pivotal. It mean more to me than anybody of the big names on the interview because it was like, these my boys, bro. And to see them grow, I'm able to be like, hey, so you still doing what you said it on the episode now. So you still, so those type of things. And I would say also interviewing someone like Ryan Clark, man, that was my first, like, I would say big name person. And just realizing they regular people. Like,
Mhm.
it's a regular person. Anybody can do it. Like anybody can do it. It's just showing. I think that with me, it's like that's why I love pushing and changing the narrative because at the end of the day, I seen that guy and I'm like, dang, he big time. He actually DM'd me back and was like, yeah,
Yeah.
look out for me. Check in with me next year. And most people like, oh, I ain't gonna say nothing. But what I was doing was pin those seeds, like, hey, how your family doing? Hey, how you doing? Throughout the year. So once it got to it, we built that relationship so that once I did the interview, those are things that people don't see. They just see me, oh man, he interviewed Ryan Clark. So that meant
Yeah.
a lot to me because it let me know that, oh, I can climb the ladder outside of just the people that I know and interview people that I always wanted to talk to. And I also would say Maya Shaka, man, that was a real big because me and my mom was watching NFL, man. Like, and we was sitting there and was like, who is this black woman? Like, she a referee? Wait a minute. And mom was like, hey, you should have her on the show. And next week I reached out and a couple months later had her on the show. And I got a lot of stories like that, man. But really breaking down in my book, what I broke down in my book was the common person versus the big name person. We the same people. We put our pants on one leg at a time. The
Yeah.
biggest thing that I have learned from the show is that you bring on so many great African Americans, it's gonna be young people that see that say, "Oh, he was in the NFL, but he went to go do this. Oh, this happened like this. Oh, she do okay." So those type of things are very amazing for me, man. So I love everybody that I had on the show, and I'm thankful for them, man. I would
Yeah.
say.
And I love the way Ryan Clark speak, man. He got great vocabulary, the way he carry himself, and even how he does his shows. And then
Mhm.
he switch it up and be on First Take. And I just love that in him. And being that he's an African American, and he's
Yeah.
doing it the right way.
And I would say this too, man. I still talk to him to this day, bro. Still DM, we
Mhm.
talk and check in with each other, man. So that means a lot,
I can't wait till you get Unc on. And you just told me you
bro.
got Savannah State ties. I can't wait till I was telling my wife, I was like, oh, I hope he get Unc.
I
Cause
get man. I'm
that's
crying to
hey,
God.
I'm saying it now. I can't wait. I'm like, remember we talked about it?
Oh, yes,
Yeah. Um, in what ways have do you think that the representation of African American in tech and the engineering field has evolved?
Mhm.
And
I,
what challenges still exist?
I would say the biggest thing that has evolved that we got more black people in it in different capacities. Like I'm a computer engineer, soon to be an automation engineer. And with that, a lot of people don't know, or we just now learning about artificial intelligence. But I'm glad to see that a lot of people that are heading companies are black. But I
Mm,
would say some of the challenges is even with those heads, it's still they're not at a certain point that our other counterparts will be. I would say like and when it comes to doing the major, when it comes to college, the surface level, everything, it's a lot of odd people that still think that they can't do it. And that's
mm,
my biggest thing that I kind of want to do in the show to show you. Yeah, most of these people I interview, they are engineers or they have struggled to get to where they are more, or they may not. But like it takes time to get to where you want to be. But I would say the biggest challenge outside of that is just a lot of folks for me when I started was not seeing a lot of people that look like me. When I had worked for NASA or General Electric, AT&T, and just interning, and I was like, man, who are these people? Are leaving Clark to go to Northeastern to go to engineering school, and that was a different change because Boston is a whole different place. So just those type of challenges, I would love to see change for Black people because I feel like there's space in tech for everybody, man. No matter what you do, and tech is a forefront of everything, no every profession. So just being able to bridge that gap. I mean, I think we should be able to go out and do that. And I hope that is some change. I hope that my show and also me working in the profession helps to bring that change.
yeah. What's
Definitely.
your thoughts on AI?
I love artificial intelligence, man.
Yeah,
I ain't
I
got a
like I
problem.
like
Now I
it.
love most of it. No, some of
Yeah,
it is like, yeah, I gotta learn a little bit more about this. This is our
yeah,
robot. What y'all got going on? But
yeah,
the biggest thing is to learn just even a little bit. If it's Chat GPT, like learn a little bit about it so that you won't be left behind when it comes to stuff. But don't think it's gonna take your job. Don't think that
yeah.
stuff not true, man. That's
What
not.
would you say to the youth about using it? What is a positive way to use it, and what is a negative way to use it?
Okay, I'm an author. I done wrote many papers. You done wrote papers. Like everybody done wrote papers, right? Don't get this thing to do your math and all your schoolwork and stuff like that because you're not going to learn anything. The computer's going to know everything. And what you're going to do when they take Chat GPT away, you're not going to know how to write a complete sentence. Come on, man. Or a paragraph or an essay. So for that, use it for the right reasons. Yes, study. Yes, you got to take home tests. Yeah, learn how to do it. And yes, you can finesse. I finessed. But don't not learn what is being taught. Like my wife's a mathematician and math teacher in middle school. And a lot of kids, you'll know when they cheated and when they didn't. So the biggest thing is to learn this stuff for you because it's gonna come back up. I'm a big advocate of letting you know it's gonna come back. In college, it's gonna come up, and especially after college, especially depending on the profession that you come in. But like college is definitely gonna be a pivotal moment. You always need to know how to write and count your money and know what's going on financially. So I would definitely say don't try to use Chat GPT or any of the other AI mechanics that use to help you to kind of get ahead because that's not going. It's
What
not
I
going.
used it for, and it was really dope. I said, I got $50. Make me out a meal plan or a grocery list, and it was like do, and broke that
Right.
thing down. I was like, oh, and I said, now this is a positive thing,
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I only got this amount of money, and I want to get different things, and it broke it down, and it kind of helped, like.
Hmm.
I mean, even in that, but like you saying with people using it, and they gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, that's just like with podcasts. I use it for podcasting. Like, I love write my questions. I've been doing it for 5 years now. Cool. But I go on there every now and then and be like, okay, I'm interviewing Rashad Bateman. So Rashad did this at Minnesota. Like, can you make this sound a little better? And that's what I use it for. But as far as just authentically writing, and I'm like, it ain't sounding like me and you. It sounds
Right,
like Roger.
right.
So I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to sound like Roger. Like, so how was it playing for the Baltimore Ravens when you caught that touch? No, no, bro.
Yeah.
So definitely just knowing how to use it. But that's cool though. I like using it.
Yeah. So as a graduate of Clark Atlanta,
Mhm.
are there opportunities still available for the STEM program for African American?
So yes, at Clark Atlanta University, I would say that we have a dual degree in the engineering program. What I was in, that's where you get to do your 3 years at Clark Atlanta University, then go to the Northeasterns, the A&Ts, the Georgia Techs, to like different college that we have. You have connection with. But I would say in doing that, I was able to go work for NASA my freshman year. I was able to go
Mm.
work for AT&T and George. I mean, what is it? General Electric. And then working for those companies, man, I was able to come back to my university every year and be like, after working for NASA, I was like, dang, I need to take school a little bit more serious because I see what it takes to get to working at a NASA. So I would say having those type of opportunities would have never been if I hadn't brought myself to Clark, because I had a cousin, of course, that his line brother was a manager there at NASA, man, and it was just that process of networking. He was like, hey, send me your resume. It was at a cookout. He's like, send me your resume. My line brother gonna get you a job. Yeah, because he loves you going to Clark. But had I may not went to Clark, I may not have had it, and also majoring in engineering. So it's stuff like that, that opportunity of becoming. Then also the career fairs, the different tech people that came to HBCUs, trying to get us, because of course we got Clark, you got Spelman, and you got Morehouse all in one little area. So with that, man, it brings a lot of attention. Also, Morris Brown. So having all that, they try to get to a point to where they try to get every STEM department up. And so now I would say these students got it even a little bit better. They done built a new building and everything, trying to get them to get our tech and our engineering department at the forefront of Clark Atlanta University. So I would say it's always gonna be downplayed by certain people, but I ain't gonna never downplay it, man, because look at where I am today. So I would say you learn what you learn, man. And the biggest thing is just learning the trade that you love to do when it comes to college, and especially engineering or tech in general. So I would say it's always a good move. You just got to be careful on how you want to move and matriculate through it. Because a lot of people I probably went to school with, I went to go work for NASA. A lot of them may went home for the summer. So there's certain sacrifices you have to be able to make. And I'm promise you, man, every professor I had always gonna speak life into you. Hey, you should go try this. Or when I was in school, I tried this. And they're not going to just talk to you. They're going to be like, well, I actually got a job at Raytheon. You just got to go to Boston. This was going to happen. So those type of conversations do happen still to this day. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you go back and speak? Do you go back and share your knowledge and give examples of what happened?
Yes, indeed. Because of COVID, I wasn't able to do it, but I actually did it one last time back in 2021, and I'm about to go back
Okay.
now. Actually, I actually got it on my calendar to reach out to my professor, because she reached out before Christmas, man. And was like, I need you to come talk to these students. They need it. So definitely that, and they be saying she be showing my podcast, man. So they be helping the kids out, because the first thing they ask, like, how did you interview Chris Paul? And I'll be like, look, wait. This is how it happened, but look, man, we here talking about engineering first. I'm gonna talk to you afterwards. So definitely.
Yeah. Last couple questions. I'm gonna get you up out of here. How do you see the IT podcast, the It Factor,
Mhm.
contributing to a broader conversation with adversity and with professional spaces?
I would say this, man, and I wrote it down. I would definitely say, where is that, man? Because I just love your questions, man. I would say this: when it comes to podcasting, or when it comes to telling a story, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I promote positivity, man, and just being genuine and telling the truth. I would say that's why it takes me a little longer, and it takes us a little longer than other people. But I would say at the end of the day, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Like meeting these people and stuff. Yeah, it's cool to, oh, I'm about to interview Cam Newton, or oh, I'm about to interview, Shannon Sharp. But I feel the same way with engineering a teacher in our community, because they got way more impact than Shannon Sharp or Cam Newton ever have. It just ain't seen like that in society. So my podcast, I always wanted to bridge that gap to show you, yeah, I can interview these people, but this lady right here is way just as important as this person. Like, there's nobody better than anyone. Another thing I would say is I always want people to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like when it comes to podcasting and it comes to any profession, that if I can do it, you dang sure can do it. Cause I mean, it's 5 seasons and some people will see it and like, dang, how did you do it? Or how did I'm like, look, there's no secret sauce. It's God. God has blessed me to be able to do these things and be in these certain rooms or even trying to DM and get in touch with people. I just may do it a little different, but I'll show you how I do it. And you can use it, you can take it. It's room at the top for everyone, man. It's not a back and forth game with me. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Looking ahead, what are the goals for the It Factor podcast, and how do you envision impacting to serve the community?
Got you. So I would say with that, my goal is to keep bringing on people like yourself. Like you brought me on, being able to collaborate with platforms like yourself, man. And also, I would say just bringing on great people, man. I love bringing on people of all professions. I wanted to get to a point to where I done brought on so many people that they're like, oh yeah, let me bring on my friend, man. And it's getting to the point, oh man, I got this certain portion for you. Like today, I get to interview Marquise Ogden, man, Jonathan Ogden's brother.
Wow, that's what I was
And I
wondering.
didn't even know nothing, man. But one of my boys was like, you've been doing this for a long time. You're one of my people, man. I want to reach him out, get him in touch with you. And I wanted to get to that point to where I don't always got to be the one reaching out. They're always like, okay, cool. Or the podcast that people can look and say, hey, Jeremy, man, I'm trying to get in touch with somebody, man. I want to go speak with somebody for mental health. Or I need a physician, or I need a lawyer, or hey, man, he played football. You think he can come talk to my kids? And like those type of things are the things I want the podcast to get to, because at first you like, yeah, I want to do this and this. And after a while you realize like God wants you to actually help people through what you're doing. And
Yeah.
in there, I love helping people more than it will ever be. Oh, I brought on son, so you'll never see me, bro. I'm gonna be happy like I bring on Cam, like, oh, it's Cam Newton. Look, like it's lit, bro. Yeah, oh, you finally did it, man. It's lit. Oh. But it's not, you're gonna see that and be like, yeah, Jeremy doing that, but Jeremy actually trying to do this on the back end. I respect that. So
Yeah.
definitely that's my biggest thing.
Yeah, man. Well, we thank you for coming on today, man. Mr. Jermey Robinson, you are walking in your purpose on purpose, man. Continue to have a servant's heart, man. Heart after God, helping people. May whatever your hands touch be blessed. May your steps be ordered by God. And may He pour into you and your wife and your family elevation this year in 2024 for you, your brand, your business, and everything, man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, man. Thank you, brother. Man, I got a question for you though.
Go ahead.
Okay, man. So what made you start, man? And you say it's your first year starting?
Yeah. Yes. So back in it was like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Guy was kind of speaking to me about going around the city because I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Before I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, about going to, highlight different athletes or different people that was in our city and tell them about their journey, because your journey allows somebody else to see what you went through. Like you said, they see what you is now, but they don't know the battles and they don't know what you went through. They
Everything.
can see the end goal. So allowing their journey to be seen so they can be like, he can do it, I can do it, as motivation. So I kind of was putting it off, and it came back on and I started. And my first interview was with I think she's like 11 or 12. Her name was Honey Brown. She had won the MVP of my sister Tori Blanchard's female basketball league, and she was the
Oh,
first winner. So I interviewed her, and then I just started doing it, and then seeing how it was helping people. Like I just was doing it just to doing it, but just seeing how God was moving through it, man. And I just, took off, and, I'm continuing to do it, trying to be obedient.
I like that, brother, man. I would say what you need from me, man. I'm gonna give you, I don't know if I gave you my phone number yet,
Yeah,
but
you did. You did.
yeah, man, I look forward to staying in touch with you, man, because I
Yeah,
love what
man.
you're doing. If you ever need anything or want to talk about some things or how I go about certain things, or even want to talk to somebody I may have had on that I can try to make that happen, not
For,
even try, we gonna make it happen.
for
And
sure.
I
For sure.
definitely let you know, man.
Yeah, man. I definitely gonna use the number, man. I'm definitely, man, because you got it and you pour into people. You don't just, say this how I did it or not say nothing. You helpful and you've been a blessing to me for doing this. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, indeed.